morning, everybody. All right, good morning, everybody. We're gonna get started. And just a reminder, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Please feel free to read this or go into the description of all of my videos so you can find this. Good, got that out of the way. Morning, everybody. Let's go jump into NASDAQ and going to just talk about the 3-day rectangles that have been building on a lot of different pairs. Peak formation low at the low of this week, opening range for the week. That was day 1 of the 3-day cycle. Day 2 was yesterday, and then now today is day 3 of the cycle, coming off of last week. This was day 1. 2 trended away from day 1 highs. Day 3 put in a peak formation, but did not give a failed breakout, so that just reverts back to day 1, and now we're back into day 2 and now into day 3. But really, you know, this failed breakout at the high could have just restarted the cycle day 1, day 2. Regardless, we've got peak formation low, peak formation high in the 3-day rectangle. I don't know, is my mic acting up? Everybody hear me okay? Is my mic being weird? All right. Let's go to US 30. Okay, US 30, we had an inside day yesterday, peak formation low, peak formation high, same as the NASDAQ, you know, building these nice little rectangles. Didn't really have as much for US 30. I kind of like the NASDAQ a bit more, so I'm going to probably stick with that one. Platinum. This is another really good, very clean 3-day rectangle starting on Monday. Building on Tuesday, you can see them spiking the low, spiking the high. So they've built this consolidation, spiked down, spiked up, pulled back down, and then now it seems like we're already broken out or breaking out to the upside. Would have really liked to maybe have participated a little bit earlier. Maybe it was a first bar entry, but who knows? We'll see. Oil, another nice 3-day rectangle. Peak formation low Monday, peak formation high Tuesday, sideways consolidation. And now you can see where we're at. We broke in the previous day's high, and we're up there. Market's only going to do 3 things: breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, reverse, or stay in a trading range. We've broken out of the rectangle to the upside. Just got to wait for time of day, and all those different things to dictate what kind of trade setup this could be. If it's going to be a failed breakout, you know, targeting the other side of the range, or if this is going to turn into that 3-day rectangle that should not be counter trend, and it's just going to continue to pull and run to the upside. So we'll see. 9 o'clock, we've got a 25 minutes to the open, of course 10 o'clock and all those different things. So and oil, there should be news today at 10:30 as well, so I got to keep that in mind. Natural gas, we had day 1 of breakouts to the upside, lots of weeks to the downside, 3 days of breakouts down, 1, 2, and 3. The failed breakout, the low of the week, restarted the cycle day 1. And then yesterday was day 1 breakouts to the upside in a first green day. And again, it looks like it's already in liftoff, if you will. So we'll just keep on searching. Come on down to gold. Okay, gold. Another one where we had this inside or an outside day, and a first red day that restarted the cycle day 1. Day 2 was on Monday, trending away from day 1 highs, and also day 1 breakouts, and that threw us into our sideways consolidation, building the rectangle. We had an inside day yesterday, which was day 3. Whenever you have a day 3, I like to just transition that over. What's an inside day, day 3, moving that over to the next day. So, you know, because we had this consolidation day, it's almost kind of like a pause, and then now we're into day 3 here. Okay, silver. Same thing, except this one's still in the rectangle, and I think it's actually built kind of a better, more coiled, tight consolidation. So I'm very interested in the metals today. Day one breakouts down on Monday, inside day yesterday on Tuesday, and then now today on Wednesday. Take a look at the Russell. I didn't really have anything for the Russell. Let's see here. Going to zoom out a little bit so I can see. We had day one back here, 2, 3. Continuation on day 3. So we revert back day 1, 2, and 3. So it's day 3 again. This would be another one of those rectangles, but I would say that this one's not saying any better or any worse. I just think that maybe there's some better ones. Probably something more like this. There we go. All right, morning. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Okay, I'm going to get my stuff pulled up. Get my face off there so you don't have to stare at my mustache for the next 2 hours. There we go. I saw some of you had some questions, so I'll come back and answer here in a second. E-mini Russell. Definitely want the NASDAQ up there. I need to put the... Really the metals, a lot of the metals today with those rectangles are looking good, and oil. So I think that's going to be kind of my main focus, I think. We got gold up there. Oil's already up, good. And then throw silver up there. All right, looking good. Do you look at currencies? Yes, I do. With the session kind of getting close to starting or having already started, I'm not going to say rushing to get through everything. But my main focus is usually going to be those indexes, gold and oil, because those are the ones I trade the most. Anyways, let's get gold up there is fine. It's going to really depend, Marius, around the 9:30 time. Right now, it kind of looks like it's, seeking to get back to the high, and that's could be good. I think I'd like to wait for 9:30 and see. I will say the charts are looking really clean today, especially on a day 3 with these nice rectangles. Kind of get an idea what the chart looks like. Okay. It should be good now to go to the 5. What does day 3 tell you? It's built a consolidation and it's ready to blow off and usually either expand a range or go from one side of a range to the other. Basically, they've built up volume in an area, and they're going to try and move away from it quickly. Of course, not every single day 3 is like that, but that's supposed to be the pattern that you're looking for, where they've built up consolidations, they've built up volume, and the market's either going to shift away or go from one side of the range to the other. No, I really don't ever have a setup that, minus like first red and first green day, or like day 1 of breakouts, week 1 breakouts, day 1 breakouts. Like those are the types of setups where, like for example, if we get day 1 breakouts down, I'm going to look for 3 levels of rise. That's the kind of template that I would look for. Compared to, the 3-day rectangle, it's a little bit more difficult to say, well, based on this 3-day rectangle, it's going to go up or down. So I just identify the rectangle and then watch price on the day to determine what kind of pattern, what kind of template on the day is forming, and then make my decision based off that, still coming off of the high, the low of the day, those types of things. Like first red day, I'm going to look for 3 levels of rise. I'm going to look for a high of day trade, high of session, like those types of things. First green day, same thing, low of day, low of session. Day 1 breakouts to the downside, 3 levels of rise. Day 1 breakouts to the upside, 3 levels of drop. So it kind of gives you more of a directional bias, if you will, because you're looking for the setup and you're looking for the day to trade a certain way. Whereas the 3-day rectangle is more of, in day 3 in general, is, are they working the high? Are they working the low? Watching structure to see what kind of structure is being broken out of. Remembering that the market only does 3 things. Like all those kind of thoughts go through your head when watching price on the day. Hopefully that's making sense and I'm not just rambling into the void. But, and if it's not, please tell me. I'll try to explain it a different way. Trying to get logged into my other screen here. Got 15 minutes to the open. Just watching the pattern coming into the open and seeing, the engulfments and things, and seeing kind of where things are at, what kind of pattern is built. Is it in line with a good 3-day template or not? Okay, 9:17. So we're a couple minutes into this 15-minute bar. GU is a potential long. Maybe. Kind of looks like a half Batman. It's dealing with something, but the little heart thing is in the way. Oil. Gold. Broke yesterday's low. Yep. All right. Let's see. I had silver up there. In fact, what is platinum doing? We still breaking out? Oh, maybe not. Okay, we got 10 minutes to the open. Platinum definitely has my attention. If the breakout of this rectangle were to fail, the only other place for it to go would be back down to the lows. This is failed breakout high. And we're broken out to the previous week's low. And I think we've also triggered, what is this? Can't tell if that's previous month's low or high. Probably low, right? Yeah, okay, so we already broke out a previous month's low. Very interesting. Please look at NU. Okay. Got 9 minutes to the open. Let's see. We had a failed breakout the low of the month, which was also, I think, a first green week. That's where the week opened. They tried to go lower, failed, went back up. So made their lows in the beginning of the week, made their highs in the end of the week. So first green week, and then a day one of the cycle Day 2 of the cycle was on Tuesday. Now we're day 3 after kind of a sort of a first green day. 3 sessions of breakout. Supposed to be looking for the buy low opportunity based off the first green day. But it doesn't look like it's set up for that at all. Anyways. Looks short to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it looks based off first green week, first green day, all that. It's supposed to be a buy low opportunity, but it doesn't look like it's set up for a buy low opportunity right now. If anything, it looks like a sell. Like they've been working the high. Asia, London. So London's broke out. London was the buy low. London's put in a base above previous day's high. We've got 3 sessions of breakout. Volume trapped at the high of the day, which I think is also the high of the week. Okay, 6 minutes to the open. Okay. Did I delete everything? Nope. It was platinum that I had down here. There we go. NQ is coiled up. And the oil is coming out of this channel. A lot of order flow built up. Very unusual how the way that it's presented. Okay, we've got 3 minutes to the open. I'm going to get down to the 1. Watch how the open reacts. Nasdaq seems to be going vertical before the open even, well, opens. Came down, put this little double bottom in. And look at this little channel to go vertical. Maybe going back up through the high of the day. Certainly could be interesting. NQ making the third push. That's partly what I'm thinking. Peak formation low, peak 1, peak 2. Maybe coming up for that peak 3, but also this is a pretty big rectangle, so if we're going to break out and it starts going vertical higher, then that's fine. It'll do its thing, might expand up, but being in a down moving market, definitely watching that fancy black line up there. See how it reacts once we get there. All right, we're coming to the open. 1 minute. All right, there's the open. Not too aggressive. Nasdaq going back for the high. Coming out of this squeeze pattern. It's a pretty violent breakout on Nasdaq coming out of that rectangle. We're seeing Euro USD. It's not going to be for me. That's the gap closed. What happens now? Shaking on which? But if you buy the NQ breakout, that's definitely not something I'm doing. Whipsaw it into infinity. Yep, exactly. That's what happens when you buy a breakout. And then a couple minutes later, the bar pentons all the way back down. It's like collected maybe, oh no, like 10 pips or whatever, and then it just reverses. We're 4 minutes after the news, or after the news, after the open. Gold giving us a little 5-minute engulfment back up. I don't think we're not at closing price or anything. I think this is what previous day's high, so we're at least at previous day's high on NASDAQ. That's good. Previous day's high on oil. Okay, that's good. Watching to see how they behave now that we're at the high of that rectangle. If they put in an M, high of day, high of week, day 3, would be excited to take that, especially after this little 1, 2, 3 up. If we get a 1, 2, 3 and then an M, that would be good. But otherwise, because of this rectangle, I'd have to respect the breakout unless it fails. Nice. It's a clean. This platinum is really clean as far as the pump and the dump pattern. You can see the little head and shoulders, the left shoulder, the head, the micro M up here, and then the right shoulder. 915 down was the first bar. That would mean getting in right before 9:30, but especially on a 1-minute chart, it's really clean. Take a look at the one. You just scrunch it up. Oh boy, NASDAQ continuing. Okay. It's interesting. So this gold 5-minute bar closed higher than the previous 5-minute bar's low. I'm kind of creating a higher low. I was kind of hoping for this bar to engulf down, but it did not. So that's okay. Just be like a breakout, fake out bar to the upside, and then the following bar just immediately took the low. We're at the high of the day. We're also broken out of this. So we got a smaller rectangle down low. Keep watching that. S&P took Monday's high. Okay. Yeah, it might want to do that. Or we might be getting something else. Who knows? Just need to wait patiently till that Good Pattern presents. 2 minutes left on this 5-minute bar. Working back down into the low of this consolidation on gold. NQ is currently broken out of that inside day as well. I was not an inside day yesterday, excuse me. Who said that? It was an inside day until it broke out to the upside. Think you'd breakout fails. Will you? Yes. Would I look for a lower low? I'd look for an engulfment of this 1, 2, 3. And then I would wait for some kind of M to form, if that were to happen. But otherwise, I need to really respect this 3-day rectangle, because if it starts expanding to the upside, I don't want to get in front of that, because that means that they're going to be trying to trap shorts down in this area, and then it's going to expand up. But I would, if we got a 5-minute bar to close, the EMA were to come up, 5-minute bar were to close under previous day's high, we get some kind of engulfment of this 1, 2, 3. Like, that would all be really good. 'Built a consolidation. We spike the high. We spike the low. $45 minutes into an hour. Next big time to wait for is 10 o'clock. Holy cow, this weather is insane. I know every single day it's like I'm on the stream just talking about the weather, but this hurricane has been sitting on top of us now for like 2 or 3 days. 2 days? It's just not stopped raining the whole time. The amount of flooding in this area and all the trees and stuff down are absolutely insane. Anyways. No, I didn't have any damages, luckily. My property's high and dry. And we're pretty protected from the wind because there's a lot of trees around me. And luckily none of the trees fell on the house, but a few trees across the street, snap, broke over and whatever, but been blessed. No damage here. No flooding, thankfully. But you go out anywhere in town and the roads are flooded and everything else is flooded. I-95 looks like a lake. Yeah, I don't have to drive, but my wife does, and it definitely worries me. But okay, NASDAQ keeps on kind of pulling instead of reversing, breakout failing. Starting to wonder if it's going to succeed. Okay, 950. Minutes to the new hour. Well, so like right now, like it could still fail. Like it hasn't completely gone vertical. Like I'm not gonna buy the breakout. That's just not something that I do, and I wouldn't be comfortable doing that, even if it were to just keep going up. Um, it's not common practice for me to buy something at the high of the day, even if it is a parabolic move. But of course, I want to be able to dictate that that is what is going to happen. So if we stay broken out and they just keep on pinning down, then I'm not going to buy it, but I'm also not going to sell it. What I would want is a strong reversal bar back down into the previous day's range, which would essentially solidify all this. Anybody trying to buy these bars, they would be trapped. And I would look for just something along those lines. Of course, that's not the pattern that is built as of right this second, so just need to wait it out. Because if it continues to go up, then we can just rule that out. This is not going to be a failed breakout, and it's just going to keep going higher, and that's cool. That's fine. I was just watching the NASDAQ to see if the breakout was going to succeed because I've got this drawn out day 1, day 2, day 3, 3-day rectangle. And they've been resting on top of the peak formation high. And they've worked up 3 peaks back up to the high. So if I've got this 3 peaks thesis that this is peak formation, 1, 2, and then maybe now this is the third on day 3 in a down moving market, I would just need this breakout to fail at the high of the day, the high of the week, and then that would give me a lot more, conviction about the trade instead of just pinning back down, pinning back down, pinning back down. Kind of just need to see a better pattern. Like if they put in an M up here, if there was a peak formation that was put in place, which right now there's not, there's no peak formation high. We've just continued to go higher. It could be. It could be. And that's so that right there what you just said, TR, like yeah, they're trapping a lot. Okay, so if that was my thesis that the breakout could fail, which it is, it's always a potential, right? 80% of breakouts fail. My idea would be, okay, well, this has gone vertical outside of a consolidation, 1, 2, maybe 3, or like 1, 2, 3, and then all of this is just on the inside of the third bar. So if they engulf back down below this bar's close, then I would say, okay, well, people might be trapped. I'm going to watch the next 5-minute bar and see if the 1-minute chart lines up. Does it actually make sense to do that? What kind of 3-day setup am I taking? Taking a high of week reversal in a down moving market. Okay. What would I need to see for a high of week sell in a down moving market? Some kind of 3 peaks pattern. Ideally, first red day, which yesterday was, it was a down closed bar, but was it really a good first red day? Probably not. This is more of a peak formation low, peak formation high. We've gone back to the high. Okay, we've got 3 minutes to the new hour. Oil also has news at 10:30. Okay, new hour's about to open. Just looking good until it pinned back up and pin hammered its way back to the upside. Maybe expanding up. Need WDI's magnet to get stronger. Yeah, wait for oil inventories. Yep, exactly. I've got oil up there, but I'm not even going to bother with it until at least after those inventories. US 30 squeezed back again to the hive. Rectangle. Cool. right. Need a little action. A little something something. Everything's just pitter-pattering around. All right, 10:05. 5 minutes into the new hour. Getting some push down here in the previous day's high. Still feels like some kind of short trapping though. Like their breakout pullback into previous day's high. So we got what, 1 minute and 50 seconds left on this bar. Oil is coiling. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to see. How long we got? Like 20 minutes or so till the inventories. So I hit this bar right here that didn't close lower than the previous few bars. Lows basically pinned down into the EMA. It's now breakout pullback. Just going right back up. That's why I really wanted to see this bar close like down here. Slow consolidation. They pinned down. They pinned up. They've just been creeping their way down. Minutes left on this bar. Gold just working down into the low without actually following through. Would need some follow through. All right, here we go. We might be getting the proof of the move. Or it's going to fail again. All right, I'm going to step away for 1 second. Super hydrated. Coming right back. No, still waiting. I haven't seen anything that's jumped out at me just yet. Still watching gold. And gold has my most attention right now. And the NASDAQ, of course. Everything's just pitter-pattering in a range. Market opened and just went sideways. Well, some kind of 5-minute bar closing lower than the previous bars would be ideal. Because we broke down under the EMA, so if we get an engulfment on a 5-minute chart, I would look on the 1 minute and look to find an entry. Yep, in queue. Gonna see how this 5-minute bar closes. See if it's a decent 5-minute bar close. There it is. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Do that big 1, 2, 3 down. Pumping back up. Really no lower low. It's just making higher highs and higher lows. See if it rolls over. it's just going to turn into breakout, pullback, continuation. We'll see. If this turns into like a 1, 2, 3 down, biggest bar on the chart, reverses immediately, this is going to be a big no for me. If this bar pins up into the EMA and then we get a strong down move immediately following, maybe that would be more ideal. Could be. All right, we're 24 minutes into the hour. Six minutes to the oil inventories. Basically, what I'm waiting for is them to make this second lower low. That'd be a lot more confirmation to me that this breakdown, and then they pulled back, and I've got my line down here, and this is like our selling zone. And as long as they continue to make lower lows and lower highs, that's good, obviously. I would be targeting either low of session or, low of day, maybe low of London. But I'm going to need to see some commitment here in the next 5-15 minutes and not a higher low being put in. Okay, this isn't looking bad. Of course, I say that, and in 1 minute and 31 seconds, they got to pin down through this. But if it continues to run through this is like the breakout, fake out bar. That would be good. That would be more than ideal. But if they just pin down through this low, there's a good chance they're going to go back up. "52 seconds on this bar." What is wrong with you? Okay, so they've pinned down through the low. They've pinned down through the low of this inside bar without taking out the high of the inside bar. Looking for follow through. Okay, there's 1030. Oil. Creo, what did you take? Creo. Problem with this is they've worked their way back down, and there was no follow through. Working back down into this low without actually following through. Might just not be the right time to enter just yet. If at all. That line on NQ is right at 18,300. This one right here? Yeah. Or this one down here. Gotcha. Gotcha. I'm just not seeing it like an actual parabolic opportunity. There's no, as of right now, I just don't see the big explosive move that we would have hoped for at 9:30 or after. Of course, it's 10:30, so it's that time where a lot of times about this time, 10:30, 11 o'clock, something starts to actually follow through. Kind of like opening range breakout or the actual trend move for the day or whatever. So we'll see. Okay, another 5-minute inside bar. We got an inside bar. They hit the low of the first inside bar. Now we got a second inside bar inside of this previous bar. So they're coiling for something. Yanni, good morning. Morning to you. Cray, are you short or long? Yeah, if it gets back down there. It's sort of doing this little like inverse head and shoulders thing down here in this consolidation, which is fine. I'm not gonna say it means nothing, but If it follows through, then whatever. Right now they're working down into that right shoulder. So we have this low, and then a lower low, and then a pullback, and then they're working down kind of equal with that previous shoulder without following through. It might. It's definitely not following through as fast as these setups should. Yeah, kind of a frustrating Wednesday. Very sideways. "24 seconds left on this 5-minute bar. Is this a double? It's going to be a double inside bar. All good, Stuart. Been there, done that. I type so quickly and I just hit send most of the time, so I'm sure mine comes out looking just the same. Okay, so we've got a double inside bar on the 5-minute chart now. Market has opened, ran up, put in a peak formation high, dropped it back down, immediately went back into consolidation, inside bar, hit the low of the bar, inside bar again, double inside bar. Yeah, it definitely does love wicking both sides. Everything loves wicking both sides, though. That's the whole point of causing mass confusion is, oh no, which direction is it going to go? So like the setup for me is high of week, high of day, peak formation high. They've dropped it down, gone back into consolidation and coiled sideways. That's the setup for me. That's it. So my only direction right now is down. I'm not sitting here guessing that it's going to go back up. It could go back up by all means. There's always that probability, but I'm only looking for signs and symptoms right now that it's willing to follow through. And honestly, right now, I'm not seeing that. If anything, I'm seeing more of a trap consolidation sort of ordeal. Oh, oil's off to the races. Off to the races. Took oil. 3 levels of drop. 5-minute engulfment. Very nice. Yep, going right back up. Okay, big 5-minute bar going back up. So this might actually turn into the other, which would be range expansion to the upside, outside of this rectangle. Ten 45 minutes into an hour. I tell you, this is not my favorite Wednesday I've ever seen. By far. Which one, Stuart? You talking about the NASDAQ? That double inside bar coil right back up? Yeah. I was highly considering shorting that as well. I'm very glad not to have because I saw that the way that it was consolidating down there under the EMA was very suspect. You know, there's no follow through. Give it a few more minutes here, but I'm honestly, with how good everything looked this morning and then how everything's shaping up to be now, I think I'm okay with just waiting for that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, see what Friday looks like. Sitting in my hands, yep. That's how I'm feeling. It's nothing perfect. No perfect M's, no perfect W's. I think this was fine right up until it wasn't. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try and guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a bit of a, not really a shorter stream, but came in this morning with some high expectations and everything kind of just flattened out. I think that's good enough for me. I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow and maybe Friday, see if a better opportunity comes along, a better high of day, high of week, or maybe today turns into a first red day or something like that. Get a better signal. But you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.